everyone. Welcome to This Must Be the Place. I'm Dr. DeCubellis, and today I have a special treat. Obviously, I'm very health-minded. That's what I do here, and that's why I wanted to have Annette by, because that is where her core is, and I think you're going to love what she's all about. So, Annette, thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, without the more suspense, tell everyone what it is that you do.
Yeah, so my name is Annette LaCitra, and my business is called Passionette Palette. So it is a play on my name, so Annette Passionette. And it's because I'm very passionate about what goes on our plates, because that's what helps us nourish our bodies, but also helps us in a healing process. So as I'm the CEO and founder of my business, and I transform people's lives through delicious, life-giving foods, and also other holistic healing approaches, so that people can really empower themselves to work on healing and also just operate at their peak performance level. So I typically work with a lot of busy professionals, families, people who own their own businesses.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Now, with all that in mind, what made you get started, or how did you get into this realm?
Yeah, my own health struggles is really what got me into this. So I was doing this before, or I wasn't doing this before, but I was doing corporate finance for really large food companies. So I got a chance to see what went into the food system, which is pretty disheartening. But I also knew that I wasn't passionate about what I was doing in corporate finance and my own health. It was really taking a toll on my health. And so kind of not being aligned with what it is that I was doing as a job. And then also I was I don't know, I just wasn't feeling well. I had a lot of digestive issues since I was little, so that's what I help people with also, as I focus on digestive health, autoimmune, and increasing energy. So throughout my adult life, being in corporate finance, also seeing what wasn't really helping people in their health with the large food, it was really hurting people's health. And with my own health kind of going downhill, unfortunately, I had to draw a line in the sand. I had a really bad infection, and I said, you know what, I can't do this any longer. It was really bad. It was that bad that I had to figure out, okay, it was a good 4 months worth of just in agony, I was in agony. And I'm like, okay, this is enough. So that's how I got into really starting to research for myself after being in and out of doctor's offices, so allopathic model doctor's offices, for years, and nothing was changing until I really started looking at my own health and researching and saying, okay, I went more the holistic, natural route. That's when things started to change. So if I did it with my own health, and by what I started changing on my plate, I said I have to help other people do this, and that's what I did.
And you know what, that's great when you have that your own personal story as to why you did this. It makes everyone understand why you are so passionate about it. But also, you went through all this stuff, so clearly they can trust you with everything. Now, with that in mind, though, go into a little bit more detail over how the whole process works, because it's not your typical thing that people would see. It's very unique what you do and how you do it. So kind of describe how it works.
Yeah, so what I do as a health coach and also a chef, I've blended them together by creating 14-day plant-based energy boost cleanses. So it's really nice. I start out with that because it incorporates the coaching and also recipes, grocery list, and everything, so that way people can experience how to use food as healing, and use it for healing and use it as medicine, but also make it taste amazing. So that's another thing, is a lot of people think, okay, I'm going to eat healthy, quote unquote healthy food, and it's going to taste like cardboard. And it's like, well, food is really just fruits, veggies, any plants, nuts, seeds, grains, if you eat grains, but also just really things that grow from the ground up, that's meant for our fuel, meant for energy for our bodies. So I do it through these cleanses, and then after that, people don't have to just join that, but I like to start with those as an introduction to the power of plants and how that really works with people's bodies, how easy it is to just basically for your body to adapt, even though people think it's hard, but it's not. And then I do the coaching through that. And then after that, if people would like to continue working together, I do a digestive health immersion course. So that way we get a little further into the, not just digestion, but into what's going on with our bodies. How do we use particular foods and herbs for, as medicine? And that's where it's the coaching and it's very individualized. So it's not like this is going to help or that's going to help. It's really what's going on with your body. And so that's what I do, is provide that guidance, the empowerment, the support.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And a big thing that you said there is making sure it tastes good.
Yes.
I think that's really the biggest problem is people, they perceive certain foods as not tasting well when really it probably has a lot to do with just how they're preparing it.
Yes.
Or what they're combining it with.
Yep.
So being able to show people, hey, this is what I want you to get, this is how to prepare it, is a huge help.
Yeah, yeah, it really is because, and it's not hard, it's really taking those foods that people may not even think to use together, and it's the spices and the herbs and it's the flavored sauces or whatever it is that it's to put it together. And it's, you know, I personally am gluten-free and I eat mostly plants, so it's a very plant-forward lifestyle. So just putting a lot of medicinal foods in front of other things that you may be eating to help fuel your body properly, but making it colorful and making it taste really good, because that's the other thing. It's like, well, I mean, if you don't want to look at a blah plate, it's like, well, it doesn't look very appetizing, or it's just greens or whatever, and greens are beautiful. But it's how do we get as many different colors into every single meal that we're eating as well. So it's a challenge. It's not, oh, I have to eat this many fruits or veggies as servings. How do I actually make my plate as colorful as possible with whole, real food and make it taste delicious?
Yeah, and the nice thing too is you're talking about real food, not supplements, correct?
Correct.
So that makes it a lot easier because this is not a diet supplement thing. This is literally your diet. This is how you should eat, how you can do all of that. Now let's go back to the cleanses that you were talking about.
Right.
Tell me a little bit how those work, because every cleanse is obviously going to be a little bit different. So how does this cleanse work? How often are they taking whatever it is they're supposed to be eating? Kind of walk me through that.
Yeah, so I provide the grocery list and then the recipes, and I do the coaching. So there's usually a couple coaching calls throughout the entire 14 days, so that way I can help provide accountability, support. It's a group. It's in a group format, so it's really nice. It's fun. Everybody shares. But with the grocery list and also the recipes, it is, so there's 3 meals per day plus a snack, plus it could be a dessert. Now it's all food, and it is not supplemental. There's no supplements, so really we should be using food as medicine. If somebody's taking a supplement, feel free to continue taking that. I'm not going to tell anyone yes or no to do that. But it's really just laid out by day how, you know, each recipe, every single meal is laid out for you. Typically there's some leftovers, so sometimes it takes out the time to actually do some prepping because you've got leftovers, you know, for the couple days, because it is so much food. And that's what I hear a lot, is that it's a lot of food, so some people don't even get to the snacks or the desserts, which is totally fine. You don't have to. It's really just to keep you satiated and to show that really eating plants does keep you full, as opposed to having all of, you know, protein, or carbs, or whatever it is. So that's what it is. It's laid out every single day, every single meal. And if people have questions, you know, we've got a closed Facebook group that I work with people on too. So it's nice that they share. But that's really how it goes. So we do like an introductory call. This is what we need to get. Welcome, thank you so much, and then we start checking in every couple days. How are you doing? And then there's a wrap up, like how are you feeling? What did you experience? What are you experiencing? So that's what I want to find out, is what people are experiencing throughout the whole cleanse. So there's also other detox tips and tricks that I provide. So it's not just the foods; it is the food, but it's also how can I really start detoxing and sweating or doing certain things to help release things out of my body. So that's typically what it is, and it's only 14 days, but 14 days have a huge impact, I've noticed.
Oh, definitely.
Huge, yeah, and I'm sure what you do too, you notice that.
Well, and two big points that I think you made there that kind of show how it's different is A, that you are going to be full.
Yes.
So it's not like you're starving yourself for 14 days, which is great. The other thing too is that the increase in energy.
Yes.
That's huge too, and I think that a lot of people don't realize how bad they might be eating until they change some things. And 14 days is enough to transform your whole digestive system and your body, and you can feel the difference. That's what I always tell people is, once you feel the difference, then you can know, whether it be working out or doing something like this, when you can actually feel the difference, then you know that something's working and you can tell what you want to stay away from. So I think with a lot of this too, with that 14 days, it helps people kind of change their lifestyle going forward with eating patterns.
Right.
So they don't just get back to where it was before.
Yeah, because 7 days, I've heard people even ask for 7 days, this is a while ago, until they do the full 14 days and they say, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that I did 14 days, because it shows the change that I can make in my lifestyle. It's not just, okay, 7 days, I'm starting to notice things. The next 7 days, then they really start noticing things and noticing how it could be a pattern and create that. And so I love doing these, especially plant-based, because it really pumps, like you said, your body up with the fuel it needs. So when you see the increase in energy, it's what you're feeling. And it really is just nourishing every cell in the body with nutrients. So of course you're going to see a difference. You're going to feel a difference because you're giving the body exactly what it needs to power forward. So and then that's why I do it. It's not that I'm against meat or I'm against anything in particular. I just notice where people are truly healing and feeling that energy increase. They're sleeping better. They're losing weight. They're seeing their skin get better. It's all of these things, inflammation going down. So, and it's through just plants.
Yeah. Very, very nice. If you want to get in contact with Annette, her contact information is below. As you can see, she's an expert in this area, lots of different things, and I think this is a very unique kind of way of approaching this that most people don't do, and it's very needed, extremely healthy. Get in contact with her, and again, thanks for coming out. Thanks for sharing this information.
It's my pleasure. I appreciate it.
Well, we'll see you guys next time. We'll be seeing more from Annette in the future, but her contact information is below.